we have this opening region with 2 green armors, chain gun, 2 super shotguns. So there's already choice about where to get the weapons, but we are doing this overall section. And there are 2 things that make this map extra good. Maybe 3. One is just the weapon and enemy choice. Having the weapons be stronger means the fights can have more enemies. And also they play pretty well, especially the super shotgun with ping ping. And the plasma. I always like my upgraded plasmas, so I don't feel bad about using it. The enemies as well. This is more for this first area. They don't show up as much in the other areas, but a lot of the hit scanners have been modified to shoot plasma, like those quote-unquote shotgunners up there. They're shooting plasma balls. And they can hurt each other. I never really bothered too much with making them in fight, but they can. And also these guys, they shoot mank fireballs. Pretty goofy death animation. It looks like their arm falls off and they're like, fine. They're fine with it. So we've got our first arena fight here. This is so well placed within the level. This needs to be at this section where you push through to, you know, use the arachnotrons to your advantage, stun the ones that you're near when you're backtracking. And the reason it has to be early is that it's all about getting more plasma. The way you get more plasma is going into where all those revenants are, or were, to get more cells, because that's where the cells are. Something that Doom Eternal can't do because you get more ammo from enemies. Really something here. That fight's not that hard, but it happened to be like the worst attempt at this fight. It's okay. That's one of the things that makes this level good. There's also like the visuals. I'm not gonna go too deep into that because it looks really good, and also a lot of maps look really good. But this one looks really good in a slightly different way because the snow. But we understand, you know, grand architecture, dark colors with light color highlights on the lights, dark skyboxes. We get it, right? And I think the color palette might be different. The blues feel a little different to me, but maybe that's just me seeing things. So we're gonna get our first secret over here, or at least open it by shooting this button. This is a thing you could do in Boom with conveyor belts spawning in items like that. But I don't know if it's an MBF21 thing or just being good at using dummy sectors, which I don't know about. I don't know enough about dummy sectors, but this map engages in a lot of things where the word dummy sector has been used before, I think, like room over room, which this map has, or moving secret sectors around. Like that megasphere has a secret under it, so. I don't know how that was accomplished. I'm just saying it's cool. So, okay. We got one more battle for our preliminary area. Another thing is that you really can't cheese any of the fights here. I'm not saying cheese is bad or what have you. But if cheese trivializes, that can be problematic. At the end of the last map, actually, we did that archvile jump, right? But that was pretty hard. And I only barely survived. So I don't feel like I cheated the map or anything. I had an alternate solution. But as far as it goes, if the map disallows cheese, oftentimes, you know, it does show a little bit of polish. And here, a lot of the fights take like 4 switches to exit, which, you know, you got to do them. You got to do them if you want to win. But there are some fights I'll point out as we go that do allow cheese and why I think it's okay. This area kind of shows just how nice having the double shotgun is. What am I calling this? The double super shotgun? The super double shotgun? I'm going to go with the double super shotgun. It works really well against Revenants and Archviles, because they die to 2 or 4 hits, even numbers. Kakos, it is a little awkward because it's 2 or 3. Manx, it also feels pretty good, because they die in 3 or 4 usually, and you know the upper limit of that, 4, is divisible by 2. So, oh, there's continuity with, I always forget. Here it is, it's this button. Alright, so my Doom guy, he's gonna go kill these Arachnotrons. I'm gonna do a little bit of exploring now, with my free camera. There's the last map over there, hypothetically. Nice continuity. So let's just get a look here while my Doom guy is doing whatever he's doing. This is one of the more chill areas. So this open section, we're just kind of clearing it out, okay? So here I had a choice. I could have gone that way, into the building, or, which I am doing, going this way. This is the third thing that makes the map good. You can go in different directions. You can do fights in different orders. And that is balanced in such a way that it does matter, but you can do it in different orders. When I did my first playthrough with saves and loads, there's another secret, by the way, I did it in totally different order. I went in the building first, I did the red secret fight, which has multiple ways of getting in the room, by the way. And then, in this run, I did a totally different route. And why is it that it works in different orders? It's like magic that you could have a fight that works whether or not you have a BFG. Like, it's really hard without the BFG, but it's doable. And I don't know if that's entirely down to the map itself, but rather the rocket launcher and the plasma being stronger than usual. Now, the way I see it, it just makes a lot of sense to grab the rocket launcher over here first. So you're building out this outer area, then we're going to go into this cove outside of the main building. And that's because the rocket launcher has a yellow key. You need one key of every color to get the BFG. So you will do this fight without the BFG. So why not grab the rocket launcher from here rather than the other fight, which is not required? So you could get the BFG first, then do it. Which is why I'm going to head over there. And how else are those fights balanced? Well, every fight is pretty hard, but doable. You don't have any pushover fights, except for maybe that outdoor area. And you don't have any huge bottlenecks where it's like, dang, I just lost this 12 times in a row. Which is okay. You're allowed to have really, really hard fights. But this is a 40-minute long map. We have to acknowledge, like, let's live in reality a little bit. They shouldn't be that hard if the map is 40 minutes, right? Like, Flotsam Map 1 might have the hardest moment I've played in any map. But it's right at the beginning of a 10-minute long level. So it wasn't that much of a pain to do. Now, this section is actually pretty challenging as well, but there are a lot of resources available. So, you know, as long as you're moving enough, planning your route. So there are a lot of Revenants over here, as you can see. And there are also, I'll use my free camera, some other fellows down this way. So how much damage can we do before hiding out down here, protecting myself from the Revenants? And then when the Revs get too close, we'll head back over here where all the hit scanners are. I'm curious what, quote-unquote, the intended method is, because it really feels like this flows well. And then I want to use rocket launcher, because this rocket launcher is really, really strong. I don't know how fast it shoots, if it's the No SB2 super rocket launcher speed, or if it's a No SB3 rocket launcher speed. I think this is closer to the OSB2 infinite rocket launcher speed. Hard to say. I haven't played all of OSB3 after all. Maybe one day. So now it's like a really dynamic section. If you have room, you go past. But if you don't have room, maybe you have to curl around the other way. I had room, so I got over here. I like it when I can get over here, because I have the extra soul sphere. And there's usually a soul sphere down there. But there's some Manx, so I gotta deal with them too. Or at least enough of them so I'm not getting attacked all that often. Oh, another thing that balances out the battles, the arena fights on a really big level. Sometimes in a really big level, if you manage to do like the biggest battle first, it has like a million megaspheres in it. Like this one does, frankly. And then the other fights get really easy because you have 200 going into all of them. There are... The truth is you're going to have 200 going into every fight here. Because there are so many soul spheres and mega armors and mega spheres lying around. But each fight kind of needs it. I'd be really impressed with someone who could do basically any of these confidently without a megasphere. So it doesn't feel like any fight trivializes the others, just by existing. Same for the BFG. But I think I talked about that, because the rocket launcher was already strong. Because, truth be told, the base Doom, what is it called? Weapon ranking? Weapon balancing? The BFG is just the best. The only reason you use rockets is if you're really, really far away. Or it's a long haul away, right? But outside of that, the BFG is better. Maybe hit scanners fare better against plasma. There's actually a fight here. I prefer using plasma over the BFG. Because the plasma is really good. And the plasma does have some advantages over the BFG. And that's fire rate. Wait, is that like an MBF 21 effect with the water? I feel like I haven't seen that in vanilla. But I think it is. I picked that up, honestly, just to get the secret. I mean, why not, right? There are enough soul spheres, so you don't have to worry about using too many. Remember, plasma's strong. And what does having stronger weapons mean? You can have this not before seen scale of combat designed around a weapon, not as strong as a BFG, but not as weak as your regular plasma. This fight would probably be very hard with your regular rockets and your regular plasma. It would be doable for sure. But the whole dancing around the Hell Knights, dealing with the Archviles quickly before getting swarmed by the Knights, it would be really challenging without the upgraded weapons. And now we get to see battles with, like, this different amount of enemies that normally wouldn't really be available. So yeah, I explained why I went for the yellow key first, because the other one, let's see if I can go like that. How do I pause my guy? Whatever. There's another fight with the rocket launcher later that we'll do, but we could actually do it right now. But I don't have the BFG, and it doesn't give me a key, so I'm choosing not to do it. We'll come back to it later. I'm gonna let this room speak for itself until later when I do a lot of talking. Yep. So we've got our blue key, which means we have 2 out of the 3 colors. So let's go over here. This room has 1 of the red keys. You need either red key to get the BFG. Well, you need all 3 keys, and both red keys exist on the map. So I'm doing this one first because I like using the plasma here, because there are a lot of, they're not hit scanners, but they're little dudes. So I kind of think of them as hit scanners. So I like having my plasma to blow them up. Oh, look at that. Tap, tap. I'm just clearing out this area first. Like, why not? Make use of my lowish health. Whenever you have... I haven't really talked about this that much, but if you have normal health, like 100, this is the time you should be picking off the stragglers, the imps, the chain gunners, right? If you have 200, that's when you need to go for the archviles and the cyber demons. I know this might seem obvious, but I am still saying it. All right. I'm going to maintain my 72 blue armor. Or I guess not. I'll take the other method. All right. Yeah, this is why I like plasma here. There's so many guys here. Doing with BFG is absolutely doable, of course. But I do prefer the plasma here. Which is crazy to say, right? Imagine having a plasma so good that it's situationally better than the BFG. Looking at you, Unmaker. That is just kind of better than the BFG all of the time. I know the BFG does more damage, but, you know, live in reality, right? Doom 64 doesn't have those scenarios that would matter. And we got another, I want to call him a Fractured Worlds mini cyber, because it is that color. Or at least close enough for me. But I know Magnolia did it probably first. I'm not sure. And are we really going to give Fractured Worlds ownership over a Cyber Demon with less health? It's a mini cyber. I've seen it quite often, and it's one of the best custom monster types. Just very versatile. Maybe versatile? Yeah. You see, I'm a native English speaker, so whatever I say is grammatically correct. Wink. That is kind of how language works. Alright, we've got all 3 keys. It's time to collect our BFG. Okay, I know I said you can't cheese any fights and no fights are pushovers. This fight is a pushover. The Pain Elemental doesn't really have the space to maneuver itself. Most of the time that Archvile kind of gets stuck in the water area near the Soul Sphere. I don't know if that's intended or not, but that is what usually happens. This happened to me one of like 2 times where it didn't. Alright, so I'm keeping myself to a multiple of 100 for my cells, or at least close enough to it, rounding down. Because there are a lot of energy cell packs in the upcoming room, which we will have to run over. By the way, when you jump in this room, I'm just going to recommend don't be fancy, just go straight forwards or you might get stuck. Maybe that's fixed in RC2, I don't know. The room is exactly what it looks like. Cyber demons on either side, Hell Nobles, imps. There are also some cacos. Let's watch this from back here. So basically, if you can get this first part, not getting zapped immediately by the cybers, you're good to go. I did die here once or twice. I really should not have. If you can move in like that snake pattern, you should be okay. You never want to be moving directly towards the closer cyber. Oh, also a note, I don't know if Raven did this on purpose or not, but the cybers having this type of platform is really good. If the cyber demons have a very small platform and they can't move around, they're not aggressive enough. But when they have this type of platform and they can move around, they're still not fully aggro like a normal cyber would be, but they're more able to act normally. I remember Decino did a video on this, or at least where it was mentioned. Basically, if a monster keeps hitting walls or ledges, they reset their attack timer. Which, on average, is going to make them less aggressive. Hypothetically, they could attack very, very frequently, but just in terms of the numbers, that's not usually what happens. Alright, let's switch back to standard view for the Revenants. just having the little ledge, as this is cleared out, I'm just going to look at this ledge here. This is a nice bit. So you go over here, you're going to die. You have to go up the ledge like a stair. So it makes you be a little more careful with your movement in a fight that's otherwise, and still, frankly, pretty easy. Also, 3D? How is that? I don't know. How'd that happen? Room over room? I genuinely don't know. There are multiple ways to do room over room, I think. I think it's done here with a lift. I don't know. But I think it's a lift here. So the floor actually changes height. I don't know, but I think that's what's happening. All right, big battle here. We got lots of cyber demons, lots of hell nobles, even more hell nobles and cacos. The way I see it, I want to stay over here just a little bit, to get the cyber demons on that side, because this side gives me a little bit more space and more awkward movement for the hell nobles who are up the stairs that sneak. The AI is really bad at getting down the stairs in the first place. Now make those stairs sneak around. You've got a lot of time before the hell nobles figure out how to get down here. You still got to move back and forth a little bit to the other side. You don't want to get squished, but it's safer to be over here than the other side, which is why I started on the other side to get the cyber demons down. Truth be told, the first time I got to this fight took me 2 tries on my just checking out the map run. And then, first time I got here in a run, I beat it first try. And then I died to the last room, which was only like 20 attempts. This is my 90th. So maybe I got lucky the first time. But I feel decent about this strategy. It's not 100%, but you know, it feels okay. It's also really big. 600 enemies here or so. About a third of the real estate of this level. Real estate is space, is land. A third of the population of this level is in this room. So why isn't it ungodly difficult? Well, it comes down to it being a lot of hell nobles, not the most difficult enemy, given they have big damage. And the stairs, which kind of neuter their effectiveness, which is good. It's designed for that. Also an appropriate use of regular cyber demons here if they were mini cyber demons. Not really. You have the space filling job being done by the nobles, and the pressure by the big boys. I still found this to be a pretty dynamic fight, even with that strategy. So, you know, you're doing your best. And sometimes it comes down to picking up cells in a smart way to leave cells for the area where you're going to spend more time in, which is something I could have done a little more of here, because I almost died due to not having cells. Like, having to break out of there with rockets is pretty scary. And I was like, okay, get them nudged into the stairs, run away. Like, I really could have died there. That was super close. But, yeah, I appreciate the medikits, right? Medikits can't take you all the way up. They can just make it so you don't die to one Hell Knight projectile. But they can't get you out of Cyber Demon. I had toyed around sometimes with quickly getting back to that central platform at the top. And it just never really worked out. There'd be a Cyber Demon there, and a Cyber Demon in a room with like 1,000 pain elementals. It doesn't work well. So I feel pretty good about the next half of this fight. Also, really beautiful room, by the way. Just the lighting, the geometry. Really good, really good. If I am critical of one thing for this map, it would probably... Also, I like the blue on the BFG. it would probably be, it's not the fight I'm going to do last, but it's the other rocket launcher fight that's not the yellow key, because it's really hard. It's not that hard, but it's harder than the other. Is it? Okay, my complaint about that is, why would I do it? Alright, for the most part, you can choose either order of what to do within this main building area, but then either side could work reasonably. Like, I don't think the side I did is, like, always the better choice. I think that I chose doing them in an easier order, but I could see other people doing it. But that other rocket launcher fight, you should save it for when you have the BFG, because you don't get anything out of that fight, really. But, anyway, moving on. This area, hey, you know, some people say it's not cheating to use free look, and I say, yeah, it is. This fight would play totally differently if you could use free look. Look how I'm staying back so my auto aim doesn't get pulled down. Look how I'm not going to the upper levels, in which case my lack of free look would allow me to shoot down. I need to stay on this central floor and stay back enough that my auto aim doesn't kick in, so I can hit the Archviles, my super rocket launcher, otherwise I'm gonna miss. And I'm mostly relying on being far away for the vials not hitting me, and the fact that I have those 2 megaspheres over here. And once I have the vials gone, I feel pretty good about my chances, because these are just teal cyber demons, and they do get stuck on the walls, so this is more of a celebratory fight, in my opinion. Alright. So we've got about 3-ish fights left. You could say maybe 5, depending on how you count. Maybe 6. Okay, yeah, this is the one I was talking about. I don't think this is a bad battle or anything, but there's already a fight that gives you the rocket launcher. And it has the yellow key. So you would just do that first. Maybe I could see a world where you have to do this one first, because then you would get the rocket launcher to do the yellow key fight. But this fight doesn't give you a key, so I just wait until I have the BFG. Because, like, what if I'm getting overwhelmed, right? Yeah, I felt scared kind of early here. It's not comfortable. What I try to do is spend most of my time on the edges here, because then I think the enemies on the other side have trouble pathing to me, whereas the enemies that I'm on that side, they're gonna get shot by my rocket anyway, so I don't care if they're pathing, right? Which is how I did it with the rocket launcher only. But I felt like saving this until I had the BFG, because, like, come on. And if you don't have the BFG, then you have to focus more on one side, in my opinion, so that you can make this escape. Those doors only open maybe after a minute or two. You can't run away immediately. You gotta survive for a bit. But yeah, now that we've done the... If it wasn't clear, that big fight was the finale. I am at liberty to exit the level at this point, but I want to max it. So now that I've done that big battle, I have essentially infinite cells. It's basically not possible to run out. But I still only have however many cells I bring in, usually 600, plus however many are in each of the rooms. So, you know, it's not infinite. All right, next up is this area. Depending on which direction you come from, different walls here will be available for you. That opening by the window, you can always go through. In fact, this could be the first room in the main building you do. And sometimes, if you go the other way from the rocket launcher fight, you know, with the 2 sides and the Hell Nobles, sometimes that door is open. And I do it from this way because I want the path I just came from to be open, because then I can run over here, get rid of these guys, and maybe you can argue, hey, you're kind of doing cheese here, running away to a safer area that you've already cleared out. And I would say, yes, but I earned it because I went all the way around the other way. I'm doing this fight last. I've ordered it specifically to make it easier, right? I've put in that effort, which is why I think it's okay that this fight is cheesable. If you do it first, it's a little bit more challenging because of which doors are open. You can go through the window and make it easier, but it's still not as easy as going this way. And there are archviles. The archviles, okay, maybe you don't want to trivialize archviles, but I'm doing so in the service of an archvile jump, which, I mean, maybe Raven comments and he's like, "You stupid, you didn't find the intended route." But I'm pretty sure you need an archvile jump here. I'm pretty sure you need an archvile jump. So we're going to take out these ambush flag vials. There are 3 of them, so luckily I'm able to get 2 of them to see me, and then use the 3rd one. It's not a difficult archvile jump by any means, but I'm also not like an expert archvile jumper. So Oh, I messed it up. I messed it up again. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I don't want to just get zapped on 100 health. So, luckily, I saved this for later, and I can go grab another mega and try it again. Of course, that comes with its difficulties, now that the vial's been resurrecting everybody. There's also why I didn't shoot him 3 times with the rocket. Okay, so now we're in a little bit of trouble. He's on the wrong side of the stairs. I want it to be oriented more like this, where he's on this side, and I can go in between him and the stairs going upwards. Alright, there we go. I appreciate not needing an SR-50, by the way. Like, just let me make the archvile jump. I don't know what happens if you fall down there. Sorry. So all the resources here, you want to get them right now, because you can't come back here. Well, I guess you could with another archvile jump. So we get the axe. And it's not just the axe from Heartland, but it's the axe from Heartland if it did a lot of damage. Yes, it kills a Hell Knight in 1 hit. It does not kill vials in 1 hit. At least not in the times I did. Maybe I got unlucky. Barons take 2, right? Because the Hell Knight times 2. Manx seemed to die in 1 hit. But again, I only had that happen once, but I also only tried it once. So, the axe is pretty cool. Ping, ping. Look at that. Awesome. And, it doesn't feel overpowered. It's still a melee weapon. Maybe in a smaller scale map, that would be an issue. But on a map like this, we're using lots of BFG. It's fine. And it's also timed. This is also timed, right? If you wait too long, all those pillars go down. You have less cover. And that could be problematic. It doesn't insta-kill you or anything, but you do want to get done with that area quickly. And there's our archvile friend from earlier, who helped us get up there, and we've promptly destroyed him. Okay, we've got just 2 sections left now: the secret red key fight, and then the non-secret reddish area fight that you need to have done the secret red key fight to unlock. Actually, not sure why it's not a secret. My opinion, it should be tagged as a secret. But, whatever, right? So this is that secret fight. We opened it by shooting one of the buttons on the wall. And since I have the BFG, I know I have the extra time that I can rocket those revenants. If you don't have the BFG, you really don't have time to do that. You just need to be plasmaing the Hell Knights back here and avoiding the Cyber Demon up front. Now, you might also notice something that I didn't. This bit of revenants is farther back than the other bit of revenants. I literally didn't notice this. But if I had noticed, I'd probably stay more on that side than what I am doing, which is being on this side. But, you know, whatever. These pillars are thick enough that the Cyber Demon won't see you all that much. I remember taking a death to this Cyber Demon alone, and I had, like, I think I was about here. Yeah, this is stupid. You see, I'm making a mistake. I'm leaning out to the right. I should be leaning out to the left. But I didn't realize that the Revenant bit is only on this side, not on this side. It's gotta be a palette change. I think the greens are changed to this blue. Because that's why Doom Guy is more of a blue guy now. Alright, oddly enough, also really nice door. Very intricate. Wait, is this another section with 3D that I just crossed over? I don't know, you'll have to check, I guess. This section's really easy. Just deal with the Revenants first, so that they don't rush you, and the Archviles are locked in their little area. So, we've got one more combat encounter. One more battle. One more fight. One more, I don't know. Microcosm of war. So yeah, we got our bonus red key, which allows us to do the bonus red key fight, which hypothetically would slightly lower the number of Hell Nobles in the final battle. It's just this, well, you'll see it as we finish it. So if you did do the super secret red key and then use that super secret red key to do the super secret red key lava room fight before the big finale battle, you would have slightly fewer Hell Nobles to deal with. Personally, I found the risk reward such that I wanted to get the finale done sooner, and I just think that's less risky. Because, you know, fail faster, right? So, this is it. This is our final battle. And where I died on my first run. This was it. This was the only fight left. Not the first run, but the first semi-successful run, like 20 in. So, doesn't really start too scary. You got some Revenants, some Hell Knights, but they're set up in a way that you have a lot of room. You can deal with the Archviles well enough. But there is something to it here. You got Pain Elementals suddenly showing up. I think there are 3 of them, maybe 4. Yeah, it looked like it was 3. Oh, there's our 4th man. Okay. And there are a lot of items on the ground, which someone neuters the, sorry, my cat got spayed like a month ago, so I have that word in my head. You know, the items kind of neuter the Pain Elementals also. And you also have these Archviles that show up, and yes, I self-rocketed. That's why I died in that 20th attempt. Those Archviles spawn exactly where you would want to stand to deal with the Hell Knights. Very fiendish. And of course, after enough time passes, there are a handful of mini cybers to deal with, but they only have 1,000 health, so they do go down quite fast. And that is that. These monsters would get telefragged or something if you, you know, did that fight earlier. But since they already did it, you know, they're already dead. And that's it. That's all 1,894 monsters. It's hard to say enough good things about this level, really. Looks great, plays great individually, like per fight. But the reason I think so highly of it is how all of those fights play together. Right? It's not the most complicated thing if you already have good encounters to string them together in like individual levels per se, let's say. But these, you have so many choices in how you go about it, and some choices do work better than others. I think that's part of how choices work. Some choices are better. But they're balanced. There's our last secret, and it's finally time to go. Also, I like having this little lift here. Just a nice little traversal thing that you unlock. There we go. So play Sleepwalking. I haven't actually done the third map so far. I haven't even beaten it with saves. So this is maybe a first for me where I'm fronting a map I like barely played, the rest of the WOT, but it was very good. So I think it's important. All right. I'll post the link. Hopefully I remember. I will. Play it.